Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a great day. Today I am going to be collabing and interviewing Jason Borck. He is from Blocker's Heart. He actually owns an NFT brand called, I think they're Jelly or something. Jelly something. Um, and I'm super excited to do this. Let's let him in. Hello Jason Borck, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I cannot hear you.
Oh, you can't.
Let me check
Um,
my setting.
oh, you
Yeah,
can't hear me?
maybe check your maybe
Can you
check
hear me
your
now?
set. Oh, okay, I can hear you.
Sweet. Okay. So, how are you doing?
Yeah, nice to finally make this happen. How are you?
Yeah, I'm so good, thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for joining into the interview. And I'm actually recording at the moment, screen recording. So I'm really excited for what we have. I've got some questions on my iPad and stuff like that. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. So you're already recording.
yeah, I'm recording right now.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
So
It's kind of funny. I just did like a small interview with my cousin and he didn't record it properly. So
wow.
like the audio wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah,
But awesome, sweet.
it's quite hard sometimes. We can make a lot of mistakes. Um,
Uh
but yeah. So what do you have behind you? You got like a whiteboard?
yeah, usually I have my green screen out, but I don't have it set up right now. But yeah, I have my whiteboard. Sometimes I've been doing little videos trying to explain like what I'm working on. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So have you been working on like Blocker's Heart?
Yeah, just different
Oh yeah.
things with jelly cubes right now, and it's been a lot of things to figure out. But dude, about yourself, like you essentially have a YouTube channel where you've been covering a lot of Christianity stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought it would be an amazing idea that we do that. Um, so my first question for you today is how long have you been a Christian and what made you give your life to God?
So I was raised Christian from my parents. I think a lot of people, when they're raised by a Christian family or whatever religion, your parents are, a lot of times people end up following that. And,
Yeah.
growing up, I didn't really know too much about it. We would go to church, every Sunday.
Mm.
And it wasn't until maybe eighth or ninth grade where I was like, you know what, I'm more interested in this. Like, I want to start reading the Bible.
Mm.
And I had read like, it took me like 2 years, but I ended up reading the whole Bible, probably missed a bunch of
Uh.
it at that age.
Mm.
And yeah, and so but then what ended up happening is around when COVID started, everything closed down. I actually had stopped believing for a period of time. I was going
Mm.
through this sort of moment of, am I just believing what my parents have told me? And, I have so many of these questions, and all of this seems so illogical. Like, how does this make sense that God came to earth? And like all of these different things, I was just having a lot of questions. And I kind of put God and religion, Christianity, whatever, just sort of on a back burner.
Mm.
And it really wasn't until this past year or so where I decided to be like, hey, instead of me wondering about all these questions, why don't I actually try to find some answers about it? And that's when I started deep diving a bunch of things.
Wow.
And I found myself getting back into, believing in Jesus, like probably in the past year and a half.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing testimony. So it started in lockdown in the COVID times. That's when you kind of lost your faith. Wow. So,
Yeah. Yeah, because like it was one of those situations, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to it, but
mm,
when you're growing up, Christianity was in a sense like forced on me in a way, just because that's what my parents believed, and like it was very like every Sunday we would go to church. It wasn't until I was older and during that period where I really took a step back and was like, okay, do I really believe this? What exactly am I believing? And that's when all these different questions came up that I had to solve. And it was so crazy because my first reaction back in 2020 was, wow, this doesn't make sense. So why am I even paying attention to it? It must not be true. Like that's what I was
mm,
thinking to myself. And it
yeah.
wasn't until I started like really seeking knowledge and trying to find the answers to things where it eventually helped bring me back.
Wow, that's so good. So, did you like? There was just a moment where you just started digging in the Bible and you just started like doing more research on it, or
Oh, what ended up happening is I've just felt this sort of missing piece in my life, to be honest. I
mm,
just felt this this sort of hole with it. And
yeah,
I feel like there were a couple things that had happened to me and were keep happening to me that I kind of view that God was trying to pull me in and
mm,
was trying to, in a sense, reach out to me and let me know that he was there. And that's really what got me on the journey of just being like, okay, let me research this more. And I started watching a bunch of YouTube videos on it. Like the Daily Dose of Wisdom guy, if you know
right,
him,
yeah,
and I even was watching some atheist people like Alex O'Connor to get his point of views on stuff, and Jordan Peterson. Like I was just like going down the list of watching a bunch of people and doing a lot of research on like what's crazy is you can't always trust AI, but like ChatGPT and these other AI programs are a really great way to like be able to pull in
mm,
data and
for
maybe
real,
hear different points of view. And because it was so much like all these questions that I had in my mind, I now could easily at least get some context and information for me to think about through AI in a minute. And that actually got me down this rabbit hole of like, I would learn about one thing and I'd be like, oh, wow, I never heard about that
mm,
before. And then that like pushed me to look up five more things and then five more things and then five more things.
yeah,
So that was kind of the rabbit hole that I went down. I felt like a calling. I felt this emptiness, and then there were things that were happening in my life that made me want to like look into it again. And then when I looked into it again, I was able to get a lot of my different like questions answered. And I still have some questions that I'm trying to figure out, but that's kind of the runway.
wow, that's incredible. So yeah, a lot of people think AI is evil and stuff, but I personally use AI a lot to ask questions, stuff like that, and it really relates with the hidden piece in your life. A lot of even like crypto influencers out there are still saying that something's missing, and they think it's more money or more accessories, things that they need, but actually it's God. So yeah, it's really really interesting of a concept of how it works. Mm.
Yeah, dude, and like just speaking on that really quick, I think a lot of people, especially in this day and age, are feeling lonely, depressed, like directionless. And I think that's why we're starting to see more people. I think like Bibles have all-time high sales right now. Like
Wow.
there's a huge resurgence and people buying Bibles. And I think there is a huge missing piece that
Mm-hmm.
God and Jesus fills. And I don't know. It's nice to see a lot of people have become more open to it, and like you said, a lot of people will realize that these different things that they've been chasing, money, material, possessions, status, power, whatever the case is, no matter how much of it you get, you're always going to feel this inadequacy of like something missing, in my opinion.
Amen. That's so true. Honestly, yeah, I've seen it in reality and so many people. And yeah, my next question I have for you is pretty similar. How has your faith influenced the way you approach money in crypto?
Wow, that's a deep one.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's a deep one. You know what's
Mm,
kind of unfortunate that, so I got into crypto in 2017. I really got full time into it about 2020. So it's been over 5 years
mm,
now of me being like full time in crypto. I
yeah.
think it's about to be 6 years. And one of the things that I really don't like about the crypto space and just industry in general is how money focused it is. I mean, like the crypto space is
Uh,
putting greed on a pedestal and
mm,
almost like worshiping greed and like getting these airdrops and buying and selling and dumping on other people and like, oh, money, 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 right? And it's kind of sad because at the core of blockchain, the tech can be used in so many meaningful ways and really change industries for the better. And even at like a deeper core of crypto with like decentralization, um, there is this idea of a different store of value in currency that isn't
mm,
manipulated and
wow.
controlled and can kind of defeat these evils of greed. Because like you can look at any society or civilization, they almost always end up dying because of greed. You always get like the top 0.1% of people inflate the money supply or something to the point where the whole system just blows up, right? So one of the
Yeah.
things that really fascinated me about crypto and Bitcoin, it was like, okay, this could be a system that because it was built in code could be resistant to the human nature of greed and constantly wanting more, right?
Yeah.
But like what has ended up happening over time is it's been the opposite, where like once again, greed has been put on a pedestal
Mm,
and people are almost like praising it. And whether it's different meme coins or just like the culture.
mm,
So it's kind of sad because I've been building in Web3, but I've been feeling like an increasingly larger disconnect of just how money focused and greed focused it is. And especially with my journey with God, um, like they say you can't have two masters. You can't serve both
yeah.
God and money. And, a
Mm,
lot of times, and it's very interesting, it says the love of money. Like money isn't a bad thing. It's the
mm,
love of money. It's the
yeah.
putting the money on a pedestal, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
So I don't think there's any problem in making money. But I think the problem is when money becomes the only objective and the main objective, and people are putting money over other things. And that's what we've seen in the crypto space. So for me, I've really become. I've always been this way a little bit, but I've become increasingly minimalistic. I'm actually wearing a different shirt today, but most of the time I wear black and white t-shirts. Most of the time, like I live in Vietnam, like I live a very simple lifestyle. I don't own a car. I don't spend money on crazy things, and I feel like Christianity has taken this sort of chase for money and greed and exchanged it for this desire to use money as a
Mm,
tool for impact.
right.
So yeah, I could talk a lot about this because I think a lot of people struggle with it, and it's funny, when you look at the crypto Twitter and all this stuff, it's like, oh, I
Mm,
just bought this new Lamborghini and I bought this new Ferrari and look at like this new Rolex I got, and it's such a focus on chasing things that, in my opinion, are very, very meaningless and missing the real value of money, which is a tool to have real, genuine impact on other
mm.
people.
Wow, that's so cool. Like, good on you for actually, not following the world on like, the greed, and actually, even living a simpler life. It's very humble. So yeah, I just want to say, good job on that, and I'm very proud, and God is proud as well. So yeah. Now I'm gonna ask another thing. What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who wants to grow in both faith and finances?
Just putting God first, you
Mm,
know? I think like it's very easy for us to lean on our own understanding and try to believe that we have all the answers and
Right.
think that we know what's best.
Yeah.
And I've really come to the point where, and it's in scripture, I think Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. But when you put God first, everything else sort of takes care of itself. And I think part of faith is having trust that he has the wheel and that he's going
Yeah.
to take care of you and he's going to lead you.
Amen. Yeah.
And sometimes you can have these moments of worry with finances or other things. And I genuinely believe that if you put God first, there's no need to worry. And that he says this in the Mount Sermon, Matthew chapter 5 through 7. He says it
Yeah.
multiple times that you look at these flowers in the field, like how beautiful are they? And these birds, they don't sow their seed, but God
Right.
still takes care of them. And like how crazy we are to think that these birds are more important than us. And I've just noticed in my life through every single financial struggle, whatever the case is, just genuinely putting God first, trusting Him, and praying, "Hey, can you help direct me with this? Like, I'm struggling here. I need some advice. I need some guidance." And I think that He ultimately takes care of it. And there's some things that you can do too, right? Like you can make sure that you're not spending more money than you're making,
Yeah.
right? And you can make sure that you're investing your money in diversification and investing in yourself and skills. Like there's
Mm.
a lot of practical things that you can do. So I'm not saying just be like, "Oh, I trust you, God," and then you're not doing what you're
Mm.
supposed to do. Like you need to have trust in God, but you also have to use your skills and talents and make sure that you're having the discipline and actually putting the work in. Because I see so many people will
Wow.
just pray about it but don't do anything about it. You've got to pray about it, ask for guidance, and then take action.
Wow. That's so good. Honestly, that's amazing. So, um, what's next for you? Like, what do you think God's guiding you to do next in your next chapter in your life? Like, do you have any feeling or guidance on what you feel called to do?
Very deep question right
Yeah,
now,
it
actually.
is. Yeah.
Because yeah, well, you know what, man? Like I've been asking God for that because
Mm.
okay, so I just told you I've been working in crypto for a long time now.
Yeah.
I've had my project Jelly Cubes I've been working on it for 4 years now, and
Oh, Jolly
um,
Cube.
I like ultimately for me, the big thing that I want to have in my life is positive impact on other people. And the big thing with Jelly Cubes has always been like, hey, I want to make a community of people that are all striving to get better and push
Mm.
themselves and not set limits on themselves. And
Right.
that's always been a big mentality for me is not setting limits on what I'm capable of. And I want that message to be within the community. And some of the struggle that I've been having, especially recently, is one, just how greed focused the crypto space is. But two,
Mm.
a lot of the people in the community, I mean, they're almost like playing into this greed where it's like, what can I do to buy and sell and make money? Right. And I've
Right.
I've kind of found myself spending a lot of time on a project that is sort of just focused on making money, which doesn't really give me that like purposeful feeling. And it's kind of crazy, but when Charlie Kirk died,
Mm.
right before he had died, I there were multiple experiences in the week that was leading up to his death for me. But
Yeah.
the night I'm in Vietnam, so the night before he died for me in my time zone, I was just like looking out and I just felt like this crazy sensation of evil.
Wow. Yeah.
I was
Like a
like
shift.
I was just feeling the evil of the world, like all of these things that were happening that I was
Mm.
noticing. And then I wake up in the morning and Charlie Kirk died.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, the timing of this to feel this sensation of evil less than 12 hours before his death. I think it was like 8 hours before his death or something crazy. And just to feel that and then wake up and see that and like see people that were like cheering for his death,
Oh, that was
it
crazy.
really impacted me. It was crazy. And
Yeah.
it really impacted me so much because like Charlie was someone on my
Yeah.
journey of trying to figure out like Christianity and the logic behind it. He was someone that I was looking at and was like looking up to as an educator, as a mentor for me. And for him to die so young too, when he was making
Mm.
this much impact, it made me step back and I was like, wow, what can I be doing in my life to make a real impact, to make a real difference, to
Wow.
actually like what is God calling me to do? And that's when I like a month ago I had started making like some other videos on my YouTube channel where I
Yeah.
was going more and I my first video vlog on this was literally talking about this exact thing, like why I started to document my journey. So part of what I've been doing is I've been making like some vlogs going over a little bit more about
Mm.
personal stuff rather than, hey, this is just this crypto project. Um, but yeah, like I'm still like to answer your question, I don't know, and I'm what God wants me to do. I'm very curious what God wants me to do, and I'm very curious how I can take my project Jelly Cubes and make it into something more impactful and purpose, like my original vision was. And at the same time be able to make a greater impact than just getting into crypto stuff, but being able and maybe even this call and meeting right now is a push for me
Yeah.
from God to be like, hey, maybe I need to make some content about Christianity and maybe I
Mm.
need to talk about my personal journey finding Christ and maybe my testimony can help other people come to God and maybe I need to be using my voice and my skills to be able to push what he calls us to do, which is not only fight evil, but also spread the word and you know evangelize in a sense. So I have no idea, man.
No.
I'm just kind of you know I'm figuring it out
Mm.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Like, it's there's still a lot of people who are figuring out their faith and God's calling. Like, I know God's calling me to spread the gospel, but I really believe that God may be calling you to even like make videos kind of like this, because like you're a very good speaker when it comes to this stuff. Like, even a lot of the Christian content creators, they aren't as good as what you just did. So yeah, or like maybe even NFTs. God might be calling you to like maybe make something about him on it, or just glorify God simply on it, and yeah, see how it goes on. But I recommend maybe just praying, seeking the Lord, and maybe write down some things on a paper. That's like what I do usually when I feel something from the Lord, and I just over time I grow into it. So that's an amazing testimony. From this point, it's looking very good, and I think from this time on, I think over the years it should align in God's plan amazingly, like it already has been. So yeah, so your Jellykube NFTs, for people who have never heard of it, what exactly are Jellykube NFTs, which is the ones you made?
Yeah. Also, can you hear me?
Yeah,
By
yeah,
the way,
yeah. I can hear you.
sorry if the audio is gone bad. I think my mic just randomly stopped working.
All good. I can hear everything.
Okay, sweet, sweet. I guess we'll just have my headphones sound quality.
Mm.
Yeah, I think like the cable finally, just to show you guys the cable, I think it finally threaded
Oh,
out.
oh no.
It is not really. I need to get a new cable. I think it just broke. But
Mm.
yeah, you said like what about jelly cubes? What's jelly cubes?
Yeah, just like for people who have not heard of it, what exactly are Jellykube NFTs?
Yeah, yeah. So it started about 4 years ago. I started working on it. It's pretty funny. My sister was the artist for it. It's these little silly
Wow.
jelly cube looking creatures with different items stuck in them. It was inspired from her, like Dungeons and Dragons is this game that
Mm.
she loves playing, and there's these gelatinous cubes. So
Mm.
like a lot of the inspiration came from those gelatinous cubes, and then we called them jelly cubes.
Wow.
And really like the main vision for it was just creating a community that is all trying to level up together and
Mm.
find different opportunities in the crypto space. So for years now, people bought the Jellycube NFT, they got access to our community. We would then look for different opportunities and buy and sell and trade different stuff that was happening in crypto and just stay up to date on it. And, especially at the time when we launched it, there weren't that many projects that were doing this, and it was really hard to stay on top of everything. Now it's a lot more common to have these alpha communities, they call it. But yeah, that's been the main focus of it. And then about a year ago, we had learned from the team like a lot of stuff about what makes a crypto project successful. And we started our agency called Jelly Labs, where we've been helping projects with their marketing and advising and connecting with other content creators and pretty much helping them
Wow.
launch whatever they're trying to launch and get the word out there. So it's pretty much been split between those two things. One of the things that we're going to be doing though is like, and I had mentioned to you earlier, is like expanding that, because I
Mm.
don't want the project to just be about making money. Like I want the project to be
To have
something
like
deeper than
a
that. So
roadmap, like a roadmap. Mm.
yeah, I mean, so I have a few different ideas that we plan on implementing, but one of the things that I'm heavily considering right now is just
Mm.
opening up the community for free to everyone and making the community more than just crypto trading, but being able to get all walks of life in there. Maybe if you're a content creator, maybe if you're an entrepreneur or founder, maybe if you're also digital nomading and living in different
Mm.
places like me. So we're trying to expand the community and the brand and,
Wow.
especially over this next year, focus on building out the IP of the Jelly Cube and like
Mm.
just building like my vision really is to just build a brand that spreads positivity and is like the access to opportunity. Like we want people to be able to join the
Mm.
community for free,
Right.
be able to learn about different opportunities, and ultimately, whether they're a founder or a creator or a trader, whatever you
Mm.
are, help you level up and be able to do that as a community and sort of instill a culture of people that are just trying to get better and trying to help each other out rather than doing everything solo. So that's kind of the vision for it. And we have some different things that we plan on releasing, but really my focus this next year is community
Mm.
building, culture building, and making Jelly Cubes more than just a place where people look for trades to make money and make it a place where people feel like they can grow as an individual.
Wow, that's good. I absolutely love that. So, is your community on Discord? It's a Discord server as well,
Discord, yeah,
and
Discord.
like Cardano, NFT websites like JPEG and all that.
Yeah, yeah. So people can get a Jelly Cube on JPEG store, like JPG. Let me just make sure I have the link right. Yeah, JPG dot store.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, like people can buy a Jelly Cube. They're on Cardano, which like Cardano hasn't been performing super well,
Right.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
compared to some of the other cryptos, and NFTs too, like haven't been performing as well. But I think our floor right now is like 350 ADA, maybe like $250 or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that for a
That's
Jelly
pretty
Cube right
good.
now.
Mm.
Um, yeah, not too bad. I mean, it's crazy like the crypto space. Like, there's so many new things coming out all the time that a lot of these assets have just gone down.
Right.
But yeah, we're still working and grinding on it.
Mm. Well, so what do you? Yeah, my next question was actually going to be very relatable to what you just said. What do you think is going to happen next with Cardano NFTs? Because over the years, I've seen, it's flopped a lot more and hasn't been working out as well. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen in the future? Like,
Hmm. Well, I think it's one of those things where in the crypto space, you constantly have new things coming out, right?
right?
And what has ended up happening is it's less about the product or like the value and more
Yeah.
so about attention. So like the crypto space is an attention economy. So whatever has the most amount of attention or mind share, people talking about it, usually that's what ends up going up in price.
Mm.
Now the problem is there's always new things, new shiny things that are coming out. So attention is always going to different things. So
Right.
what ends up happening is because there's so many projects coming out and a lot of them don't have any real value, a lot of times the moment the attention goes away, the project just slowly dies. So what you end up seeing is probably 99.9% of projects just trend to zero over time, because they struggle at getting new people to know about it, to talk about it, to buy it, to be in it, right? And when it comes to the crypto space, there's always new technologies and new coins coming out. So with Cardano, for and because this, sorry, my
All good.
oh my goodness, my headphones
It just stopped for a
not too.
second.
Yeah, did you hear me? Can you sound?
It sounds like a robot, like a robot-y.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Perfect.
Okay, yeah. So it's one of those things where Cardano hasn't performed as a blockchain.
Mm.
So that means because there's all these new blockchains coming out. So what that means is if you want the user tokens on Cardano's ecosystem to do well, a lot of times you need the blockchain to do well. So
Right.
it's like in order for, let's say jelly cubes to go up, it's like
Mm.
you need the crypto space to do well, which starts with Bitcoin. And then as people get more greedy, they start getting into more risky assets. So it usually
Right.
goes like Bitcoin to then Ethereum to then major blockchains like Cardano or Solana or BNB, and then it goes into tokens within its ecosystem. So maybe the largest token on Cardano, like
Yeah.
Snack, and then it gets more greedy and it gets into low market cap coins on Cardano, and then it gets more greedy and it goes to
Mm.
NFTs and memes, right? So it's one of those situations where it's like NFTs are sort of at the bottom of the funnel where like the greed has to be at the highest point of people wanting to get like the biggest gains and take the biggest risk. But in order for like NFTs to take off, there's all these
Mm.
other things that need to happen first. And I think like with Cardano NFTs, it's one of those struggles where unless Cardano starts performing, you're not going to see the NFTs perform. And a lot of people just aren't interested in buying NFTs.
Mm.
So that's why we've seen so many projects die, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it very difficult to work on an NFT project, regardless of the chain, is most of this is just an attention economy where there isn't any real value there. And that's where I want jelly cubes. I don't want jelly cubes to just be something people buy because they think the price goes up. Like I want people to buy
Yeah.
a jelly cube because they want to be part of what we're doing. And in order for them to want to be part of what we're doing, we need to do something that people want to be a part of. And with that, that's where it goes into the culture and the vision and expanding our brand and like what it means to own a jelly
Mm.
cube. Like we don't want it to just mean, hey, buy this and maybe you'll find some plays in the crypto space to make money. We want it to be more than that.
Well, so you want to make it like inclusive for all people and stuff like that. So I just searched it up. So these are the jelly cubes that you guys have made.
Yes.
Right. So that's pretty stable. Like that's to be over 300 ADA, considering so many NFTs have died. That's stable. After all those years. So how do you think you like? Had it so firm. How do you put the work in over the years? Like, how did you keep it to have a good stand?
Well, I think it's a very deep question. I
Yeah.
think more than anything, it's about community. Believe it or not, it's all about community and it's about the founder
Yeah.
being vocal and being out there. So, like one of the big things that I think a lot of businesses are going to be focusing on and already have is called the founder funnel. And it's one of those situations where, especially when we have AI able to replicate
Mm.
different products, I think it's going to be less about the product and more about the person behind it. So one of the reasons that I've made YouTube content and I make a lot of different content is because it helps build out your personal brand of who's Jason Borck and what does he care about and what does he work on and what does he value and who is that person behind the project. And I
Right.
think one of the reasons Jelly Cubes have kind of, I guess, still been here and performed a little bit better than some of the other NFTs on Cardano is because of
Mm.
me putting myself out there and being active in the
Right.
community and talking to people and putting my face on stuff. Because a lot of people in the crypto space, you have no idea who's running the project. They don't put their face on it. They don't put their name on it.
Wow.
It's a lot of anonymity, and by by me making content, I think it instills a deeper connection with people, as
Right.
well as instills more trust in people. And I think that's why a lot of people have just sort of stayed around. And, I think some of these other projects, when you don't really have a face behind it or a person behind it or
Yeah.
someone that you connect to, they just move on to the next shiny thing. Right. And I think some people have over the years gotten connected to me and want to be part of my journey and believe in me or whatever the case is and have stayed around. I think more than anything. And that's what the founder funnel is. It's like you make content as a founder, people get to know you, you build out your
Mm.
personal brand, and then you funnel that into whatever business you're doing, which is jelly cubes. So people get to know about me and then they might end up getting into jelly cubes.
Wow. So, what has been some of the biggest challenges that you have gone through, maybe in this kind of section of your life, and how did you overcome it?
Well, there's a lot of things.
I guess it's
you
quite
know,
similar to
like
some of the questions. Mm.
yeah. No, I mean, these are really deep questions. You did a great
Mm.
job getting questions together. Everyone always thinks I'm older because of how I act and I'm bald, right? But I'm 26.
Oh yeah.
And like when I started working on Jelly Cubes, I was just 22 years old.
Wow.
And I had just graduated college, and you can learn stuff in school, but at the end of the day, there is lessons you only learn from doing. And there have been a lot of mistakes I've made over the years just out of inexperience. And I think that's the journey of an entrepreneur in general is you don't always have the answers, but if you keep rolling this dice and you
Right.
keep trying and you keep working, you're going to learn and grow and get more skills
Mm.
over time that allow you to have a higher chance of success on whatever you're doing.
Right.
And, like when I really look over time, there have been different challenges that have come in Jelly Cubes that have taught me different valuable lessons. And in different seasons of the project, I've had to learn different skills as the founder. And there have been lessons in project management. There's been lessons in how to build culture and community. There's been lessons in how to delegate to other people and keep people on the team accountable, how to do marketing, how to create content,
Mm.
how to appropriately budget stuff, how to build websites, and how to talk to different developers, and how to find the right people to work on stuff, and
Right.
what it takes to actually make a product successful. So there's a lot of different learning lessons that I've had to learn throughout the seasons that have each brought in different challenges. And that's why I've said multiple times, God could have not picked something better for me to learn than jelly
Wow.
cubes.
Wow, that's
So
incredible.
yeah, I mean, there's
Mm.
just been different learning lessons throughout the way. So like right now, the big thing that I'm trying to figure out is systemization and how to leverage
Mm.
people. And I think like at the end, like every single entrepreneur at like the top level, the biggest leverage that they can have is getting the right people in the right places and instilling the correct culture to where those people are specialized in their own areas and are able to sort of take hats off
Mm.
of me and put it on them. So like every CEO has the same job, like find the right CFO,
Yeah.
find the right CTO, like find the right people that can be executives or specialized in their area and just sort of manage and leverage those people. So that's what I'm working on right now is just figuring out how to manage people better.
Wow. Yeah, so do you have anyone like working for you at the moment? Like do you put people on special roles? Yeah.
Yeah. I like we've got I'd say we have like a core 10 people now.
Mm.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'd say about 10 people. Like some have varying roles. Like sometimes it's just more of like contract work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say we have about 10 people that are working on this.
Wow, that's so cool. So, what kind of roles do they play? Like, do you give them different kind of things to do, or?
Yeah, so with our marketing agency, like, okay, so I can quickly go through them. Like with our marketing agency, we've got two
Mm.
guys that make the main marketing campaigns and
Wow.
they handle partnerships and all of the writing, the strategy, all of this stuff. And then we've got one guy who does a lot of the branding. So, like, if a project needs branding, he makes a branding kit for it and different graphics. And then we've got another guy we have two different guys that we work with that make animated videos for some of these
Mm.
different marketing materials we need. And then, Thomas is the co founder. He does a lot of different stuff, helps with marketing, helps with editing videos, helps with different strategy within the community. We've got another guy, Jesus. He works on some of the organization of the Discord. We have two different moderators that help with keeping the community in check and instilling the
Mm.
right culture. um, what else? We have an artist, Burge. He makes a lot of the different art for us, different illustrations. Yeah. So, I mean, sort of a mix between marketing materials, marketing
Mm-hmm.
strategy, managing the Discord. We have different people in the Discord too that like are content providers that look for different plays and opportunities and post about them.
Wow.
Um, So it's like varying things where like some people like sometimes it's more simple things like, hey,
Mm.
I need this specific video, and
Yeah.
they might not be part of the core team, but we do a lot of work with them.
Mm. Wow. So that's some really good roles that people play. What do you think might be the hardest role, like for some people, or easiest roles? Like the differences.
I mean, everything has its challenges, right?
Mm.
Like right now, I'm doing way too many things personally. Like, I want to get to the point where all I'm doing is making content and talking about the vision and strategy and like being the
Yeah.
voice of the project. Like, that's where I want to get to. But like right now, I'm doing project management and I'm doing looking for different trades in the community. And then I'm making content. And
Mm.
then I'm in it. Like, there's way too many things I'm doing right now. Um, but I'd say like one of the most specialized roles that's hard is like a
Yeah.
marketing campaign manager. Because like marketing in Web3 is very unique. You have to like not many people can do it because it's a specific you need specific skills and you need a lot of knowledge in Web3 to be able to do it. So that's actually the hardest role, being able to find someone that can take a project, figure out what they're trying to do, and then
Mm.
create a campaign on X
Wow.
of like, okay, what is the strategy? What are the narratives we need to build? What posts need to be on what days? What marketing materials do we need? Like that is a
Mm.
very difficult role to pull off. And luckily, we have two people that are really good at doing that. But even for myself, I help a lot with these campaigns, but I cannot take on a campaign fully by myself just because of all the complexities and organization and moving pieces that go into it.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, if you ever need anyone, I'm always here if you even need any work or you need anyone extra, because I have a lot of time on my hands now. um,
Oh, sweet,
yeah,
sweet.
other than school, but yeah, and content, of course. So, I'm gonna go through some questions here. So, what does a normal day in your life look like right now? So, you say you live in Vietnam. So, obviously, it's a lot more different than probably living in America. Uh, yeah, so I want to know like what it's like for you now, what you do normal day to day life basis.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. I never thought I'd live in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Kind of the quick story is last year in January, I had nothing tying me down, worked online, didn't have a girlfriend, sold my car,
Mm.
didn't have a lease for an
Wow.
apartment. So I was kind of in this situation. Hey, might as well go to Asia and work in Asia for a little bit. So last year I was traveling around Southeast Asia, ended up finding a girlfriend in Vietnam,
Wow.
and I'm still dating her. So I ended
Oh,
up
nice.
staying in
Cool.
Vietnam and in Vietnam pretty much all year this year, outside of going to the US and visiting my family.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, like Vietnam is cool. Like what's really interesting about traveling and living in different countries is it's a completely different experience than just going on like a 2 week vacation
Mm,
somewhere. When you're somewhere for months, you really start to understand the culture and how the people work and how different things and dynamics go. And sometimes there's frustrations where you're like, man, in America, this is how they would do
mm.
this. I don't like how they do it here. And
Yeah.
then there's some things in you really like and appreciate with how they do in Vietnam over the US. Um, so
Mm,
I think like every day kind of looks a
yeah.
little bit different. I'm working on different things. There isn't a crazy amount of consistency, unfortunately, right now. But a lot of times I'll wake up, I'll go get a coffee somewhere, I'll open up my laptop. I get a lot of different messages from, right now it's like on the marketing side,
Mm,
we have a few different clients that we work with. I need to make sure everything is getting done with those clients, that the campaigns are underway, that everyone is doing their job, that everyone knows what they need to be doing, and also giving different advice on some of the different challenges that come up.
mm.
Hey, this came up. How should we handle this? Right? Or hey, how should we talk about this? So a lot of times on the marketing side, it's working on that. On the alpha community side, it's like I'll do research on the crypto market. I'll see what's hot right now. I'll talk about it with the community. I'll see what the community is looking at that I should do more research on. And then I need to figure out, okay, based on everything that's going on in my life of what I'm working on with the alpha group and the agency, what sort of content should I be making? So a lot of times I'll make content on different things that, I'll make some YouTube videos or I'll make some content over on X.
Mm.
So yeah, it's kind of a mix between looking for keeping on top of the crypto space and looking for opportunities,
Wow.
working with different clients, getting new clients in, figuring out how we can have better systems in place, and then like making content. Those are like the three main sort of buckets right now.
Wow. So it seems like your life, is quite peaceful at the moment and everything's a lot more simple and easier. Do you work anywhere? Like, do you have a job or do you just do NFTs full time? And do you like own a house or rent?
Yeah, I have an apartment that I rent here, and yeah, I just work on Jelly Cubes full time. I've
Oh,
been working
wow.
on Jelly Cubes full time for like 4 years now.
So you make a full income from that like every week?
Well, so like the tough thing with a business is like you don't have consistent income, like especially in
Mm.
the Web3 space, the income is very
Yeah.
variable. So like some of these projects that we work with on the marketing agency side, like we get a percentage of their token sale or when they raise money. So sometimes we can be working with a project for months and not
Mm.
get any money with some of these deals we've had. And
Wow.
we hope that when they do their sale, it's successful and we get a percentage. So there's periods of time where I'm losing money on a monthly basis, paying everyone. And then there's periods of time where a token sale did well, and then we were able to get a nice chunk of money at that time. But for the most part, we've been able to sustain what we're doing through working on this.
Wow.
So
Nice. Interesting. Yeah, so it is a bit risky, but it seemed to be going well for the past 4 years, so I'm happy for you about that. Yeah, so I'm gonna ask one more question, and for me, and that's what is one piece of advice you'd have for me as a 16-year-old coming in to like graduation?
well, I think you're doing one of the most important things, which is
Mm,
making content and building out your personal brand. I think there is going to be such a huge push for
thanks.
organic content from people like yourself, where you're
Mm,
coming on here, you're telling people a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your journey, you're
mm,
finding what you care about and you're passionate about, and you're making content about it. Because I think one of the most important things people can do is build out their personal brand of who is Sam?
right.
Who are you? What do you care about? What drives you? What is your specialty? What are you good at? What sort of information have you dedicated your a lot of your time to learning more about so that you could be an educator in this? So for
Right.
you, like my advice to you is keep doing what you're doing. If Christianity and spreading the word is what you're super passionate about and you
Mm,
find a lot of drive in, keep making content. Be consistent on it. throw in information about yourself as well so people can make that relationship and connection with you. Because once you establish that brand and you have that following, which takes years to build, so it's great that you're starting now, the
Yeah.
amount of opportunities that you're going to have is endless. You can have sponsorships, you can have different affiliate deals, you can have different merch or products, you can have like what you can do once you have an audience is endless.
Wow.
And I think with AI and all this slop and like content being created from AI and you don't know what's real and what's fake, I think organic content where it's about who it is, once again, not what it is. It's, hey, who is Sam? That I think
Yeah.
is becoming increasingly important. I think you're on the exact path that you should be on. And
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think and I think one of the things that I kind of kick myself is getting inconsistent in periods of time. I think it's really important for you while you have that drive at your age to be as consistent as possible
Right.
and really just stick to it. Like so many people want results overnight. It can take years. So it's important for you not to be thinking about this
Yeah.
week and instead think about the next 10 years. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Because if you want to be able to get there in 10 years, you got to be making those daily actions today. So be
Right.
consistent with your content. Figure out what you want to do in your life over the next 10 years and realize you're young and some of these things may change. But the only way that you'll get to know this information of what you care about, what you're passionate about, and what you want to pursue is by doing. So
Right.
take those risks, do those actions, do those reps, make those videos. This information is going to help guide you to what you ultimately are going to end up wanting to do. And you need to realize that it takes a lot longer than people realize to get the results that you want. So it's this balance of learning and experimenting and figuring out what you want, but at the same time, making sure you stick with things long enough to actually get results because you're not going to get results overnight. And I think for you, if you continue to take the risk, to not be worried about what other people are thinking, to put yourself out there, to make content, to get people to know about Sam, to build your personal brand. I think if you continue to be consistent with that and continue to get better each day, then the results over a long enough time horizon are going to be insane because you're going to be learning all the skills. And the last piece that I would recommend to you is like, you don't have to follow these paths of go to college and do this and do that. You can make your own path. And
Right.
I think it's really important that as you're on your path, you are identifying
Right.
what could be better for the next times and just get a little bit better each time.
Right.
And, people are trying to like optimize for output. Like, oh, why is this video not getting 5,000 views? Instead of thinking, I want this video to get 5,000 views, what you should be thinking is, I've made this piece of content. What can I do to make the content a little bit better next time? I don't even
Yeah.
care about the views. Care about what can I do? What are the controllable inputs that I can make so that this gets better for the next time? And you're gonna get the results, dude. Like, and I know this is a rant, but this is really important to drive home in because we just made this video today. And if I was you, I would be thinking to myself after this video, when it gets uploaded, what can I have done to make this video? Is it better
Wow.
questions? Is it editing better? Is
Yeah.
it deleting some of this downtime? Is it maybe I need to do the thumbnail better?
Yeah.
Is it when I look at the audience retention, when is the retention dropping off? So like, what can I do about that? Is it the guests that I'm having on? Is it the topics? Is it, maybe in the beginning of the video, a lot of people drop off. So maybe I need to cut up some different clips and highlights and put that in the beginning of the video to get people's attention right
Yeah.
away. Like there's a million different things that you can do. And I would just audit yourself and improve.
Wow. Thank you so much for this advice. I haven't got that much advice before, like from a few people I have, but that's amazing,
Probably
honestly.
too much advice.
Like,
Hopefully I didn't
no, it's all good.
overwhelm you,
I'm
but
so
yeah.
thankful for everything you just said. Really, like, it all to you as well. I really believe that the jelly cubes have a good future, and even right now, it's holding still amazing. So yeah, thanks. I will keep going, be consistent with the content, and I'm very happy I got to collab with you today. And was your NFT most popular? Like one of the most popular ones? Is it?
What, like for Jellycube? Yeah,
Yeah.
so we most of the time you can just buy one that's like the cheapest price, to be honest. Like that's probably what's best for most people.
Oh yeah. Cool. So do you have any questions for me? Only if you want.
Yeah, well, I have one question for you. Like, what
Hmm.
made you decide you wanted to start this channel?
Well, ever since I was young, I always just loved content. I always loved making videos. And it was about 2 years ago, I actually started off making Instagram reels, which I still make reels, like kind of skits. And I just felt from the Lord very, very strongly to make a channel dedicated to Him, because I make a lot of videos on my other channel, like gaming videos and off topic. But I really felt to share I just really felt to share more of the Bible completely. So I made a whole channel just for God, just for the Bible, and I started making videos. I started editing them, and I told myself that I'm gonna try and make the best videos I can. I'm not gonna put low efforts. I'm gonna actually try and put the work and effort into it. And I always ask God to give me ideas that He wants me, because it's Holy Spirit led. And sometimes I have an overview, read the Bible. Sometimes I ask AI to help me, inspire me with some stuff. And yeah, just go straight to it, especially from some experiences that I've had, um, that has helped me to share to other people and encourage other people to it as well. So yeah. Mm.
Dude, I have no doubt that you'll be super successful with this. And,
Thank you. Yeah.
shout out to you for putting time in. Dude, just stick with it, man. Just
Mm.
stick with it. You're
Yeah.
so young. You're so young that, like, dude, just stick with it. Yeah, I
Thanks.
know you're going to be tired sometimes and not want to record. Like,
Mm.
I think that, and you can genuinely, what's awesome is you can genuinely make a huge impact on people's lives with the type
Yeah.
of content you're making too. Because you're able at 16 to be a testimony to other people and say, hey, if a 16-year-old is doing this,
Wow.
maybe you
Yeah.
should too. Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
So
And maybe
true.
that's a challenge to me. And maybe I do need to make
Mm.
content on this. Maybe I need to document my journey with Christ and some of the different research that I find. And I think I think you can be an inspiration to a lot of people
Mm.
to where you're able to show your testimony and be able to make an impact. So shout out to you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I think it even influences me to become a better person, because I'm preaching a lot of stuff I say, so I try to live and walk the talk and act it out. That's my goal, and I just love to influence people. I get people commenting sometimes, so it really encourages me when people like my content and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap up the video on here. I just want to say thank you very much, and me and my dad actually used to watch you a lot, because you encouraged us to get in, for the NFT market and stuff like that. So yeah, it was amazing what you did, and a huge thank you for everything you talked about today, spending an hour of your time to interview with me today. But it really means a lot, and I think the people who watch this will be very encouraged as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sam, it was a pleasure to hop on. Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, if
Cool.
anyone's listening too, and you've been struggling with your journey and just having doubt, man, that is like just part of the journey.
Amen.
Like
It
going through
is.
this different doubt. I think the big
It
thing
really
is
is.
just like seeking truth. Like, and that's what God, like, that's what Jesus says. Seek truth. Knock and the door will be open, right?
Amen.
I can't stress it enough as someone who has struggled from like a very logical and rational mind, like how much we have to take a step back from just leaning on our own understanding, but like pursuing truth, pursuing knowledge. The more that I've learned about Christianity and Jesus and God, like the more it's reinforced this belief.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, there's always going to be an element of faith in it. And
Amen.
I think it's like it's designed that way. And that's a whole. I can't get into this rabbit hole. That's a whole other thing. Just
Yeah.
and that's all you
We'll
got.
have to do another interview or collab sometime again. Maybe
Yeah.
it's meant to be. So, yeah, but I agree with the faith. Let faith transform you, and yeah, just seek the truth, as what he said, what Jason said, and make sure to follow God, and He will guide your ways and steps and plans for your life, and will help you. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, see you guys. Thank you so much, Sam.
Jason. Thank you so much, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you.
All right, awesome. See you guys. Thanks.
Peace out. Oh, okay, we end. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you liked that. If you guys are hearing this, of course you are. That was an amazing interview. What we just had with Jason. You know, we basically went on with God. We basically went on with preaching. We went on with NFTs and how we can use NFTs to even glorify God. It was an amazing series. So, Jason, if you're watching this, thank you so much for interviewing. And yeah, as I said, please make sure to like and subscribe to us if we did encourage you guys and you'd like to see more from us. And yeah, I'm gonna get going. Peace out, y'all, and hope you guys got encouraged by this. Still.